Hey everyone, and welcome to part 7 of the Pick Scraper tutorial. And in this tutorial we are going to complete the about box, and we're going to attach a variable to that, which will be our version variable. And that variable is going to be pulled right directly off of the executable of our file. So if we go into project and select project options, I'll show you what I mean. But first, before I do that, let me just change this real quick. I forgot to change our application icon, so we'll just go into resources here and select Pick Scraper icon, and that'll set our icon. This is just something I made real quick in Inkscape, so you know, nothing overly fancy, but yeah. Okay, got that out of the way. Back to our version info. Let's click this include version info in executable, and as you can see, this all lights up now where we have where we can set our major version, our minor version, which I'll just leave at 0, and then our next one is the revision. I'll just put that at 1, and then our build, and I'll just leave that at 0, so we just have like 1010. And see down here you have file version and all these other variable names. Those are what we're going to use in our argument for our variable. So file version is what we're going to be calling, and I'll show you how to set that up. So let's go in our designer, and then I'm going to select unit 2 up here. This is our about box here. So this version label, that is what's going to connect to what we set here in our Pick Scraper version. So how are we going to do that? Well, first let's go into the source, and oops, just kind of messed up my menu there. Okay, let's hit a comma, and then let's add in file info, and then we'll call WinPE image reader. Let's see, ELF reader. And then, let's see, we'll do macho reader. Kind of sounds like village people. Macho reader. Okay. The names they come up with. So now, what we want to do is, let's just scroll down here a bit. And we got file info. These are actually, we have our file info and then all these different readers for reading ELF type files, the WinPE and so forth. We're going to have all those in there, so it's kind of works across all platforms and situations. So now let's take our form. I'm going to select our form, and we're going to create a click event, or I mean an on create event. So just double click the on create, and then here is form create. So now in our form create event, this is where we're going to create and instantiate our variable. So I'm creating a var section here, and we'll call this variable file ver info. Okay, and so this variable will be a t file version info. Okay, and so now in the body of our procedure, let's go ahead and call the, let's hit file ver info, and that would be t file version info dot create, and then nil will be our argument. So we're going to instantiate this here, and we instantiate it just like we would like a string list. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do a try catch block, and that should have completed automatically. I shouldn't be typing finally here. So something's kind of fishy. I must have a typo somewhere, I think. Oh yeah, right here. Okay. So I need a semicolon there, left that out. So now if I type try, it should automatically complete it. So let's give it a shot here. Try, Yep, there we go. When I hit enter, it went ahead and auto-completed. So now let's do our file ver info dot read file info. So this is going to call our read file info to read our actual executable that we build. So now let's assign that to our version label. So label version is going to dot caption is going to show file. Wait, first let's put in version colon and a space, close quote, and then file version info dot version strings dot values, and then in brackets we're going to put that value file info that we saw under our project options. Actually, that's file version, sorry. File version. Okay, that's what we saw in our project options. So now, finally, file ver info dot free. So we're going to free our instance of that variable after this is complete. That keeps our memory managed nicely, prevents any leaks and stuff like that. So okay, so that's all looking good, I think. Let's jump in here. Now this version label is being loaded with file version, which if you remember right back here in project options, if you look under other info, you'll see file version there, and that's what it's pulling. Those other things like company name or copyright, if you filled out those forms and then put that like say copyright info, then okay, forgot to, okay, can't talk and think at the same time. Label, this needs to be label version. I always label name my labels the label version when I do an about box, and I just forgot to do it that time, so now it should be good. Let's go ahead and click that. And now if we open up our about box, there you go, version 1.0.1.0. Nice, that's what we want to see. And did you notice how the about box opened way over on the edge of my screen? Yeah, let me go up to form here, and see if you look up right here, actually right here, see this is where it's at the edge of the screen, so we could move it over by sliding with those arrows, or what I'm going to do is just hit this position button, and then I'm going to select PO main form center to position that into the center of my main form. That's even better, but still I think I'm going to go ahead and slide that over here in a minute anyway, as soon as I'm done running this. Okay, there it is right in the middle of my form. Nice. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So now I'll go ahead and close this, and we'll add some more stuff. And also the reason, check this out. See how it's going off into nowhere? That's because it's here on the edge of the form. Okay, and so I'm going to slide this over here in a minute, right after I go up here and set some constraints, because we want to have this about box all the same size too. I mean, not all the same size, but we want to have it so it stays the same size, so we're not resizing it. And one way you can do this is by setting the constraints. First of all, I want to get the height right. That's a little high, so let me try 400. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. Okay, and so let's go down here and set the width at maybe 600. Nah, that's a little much. How about 450? That's better. And again, you see how the form is kind of cut off right there, because it's right here on the edge of the screen. That's why you can't see it. It's kind of cut off. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and select these arrows, and we're going to slide it over. And see how it's coming back onto the screen now? And now you can fully see it. That's also showing you the picture position on the screen. So if I was going to slide that all the way into the middle, and I wouldn't have adjusted the position before, then it would have opened up around the middle of my screen. So that's another thing to keep in mind as an alternative to setting the position. Let's see. Okay, so now we're at 300 by 450. And so if we want to just keep that size and make it not sizable, we'll set our max height at 300 and our maximum width at 450. And then we'll do the same with our minimum height, 300, and our minimum width at 450. That way it can't get any bigger or any smaller than those dimensions. So now let's go over and click on our additional tab and select the image. And this T image we're going to just kind of put right up here. And we're going to load an image in here to make this look nicer. And let's hit anchors. And remember before in my previous videos where I would sit here and I would hit that center spot and then I would anchor it to like a sibling. This time I'm going to do it just a little bit different, just to show you another way to center this. We can go down here to center and just select that, make it true, and that'll center it right there in the form. And so that's just another way. I just thought I'd kind of share that real quick. And now let's load a picture, and I'm going to put Beasley in here. Beasley, yep, that's my cat. Well, actually he passed away back in 2010, but let's hit stretch. But he's still my favorite putty. And then proportional, I think I'll turn that off and just manually tweak it there. So I'm going to grab the corner here and just kind of bring it up. And then slide it over in the middle. Maybe a little smaller. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, that's looking better. Kind of more like an about box. Now let me jump up and click on this static text, T-static text, and we're going to put that right underneath the picture. And we're going to put some text in there to kind of make it look about boxy. So let's select caption, hit this button, and then let's just put something in here like made with free Pascal, I think. Yeah. Using code Typhon Studio. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let's hit OK. And then we'll go up here and hit auto size. And that'll keep things looking good across all platforms. That's better than actually just kind of dragging it out with your mouse, because you know it's going to be uniform. Okay, now let's anchor this guy. So first we'll anchor the left side here. We'll just kind of center it to our panel. So we'll select panel 1 as our sibling. That's that inner thing you see there. And then let's go to the top anchoring and anchor it to our image, but let's do it on the bottom of that image. And then slide it down about maybe 12, maybe 16. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I think we're almost in business, but you know, I'm going to just add the version number of Typhon Studio here 7.2, just in case, you know, like 3 years from now, I look at this and I'm like, gee, I wonder what version of Typhon Studio I used way back then. So let's go ahead and launch this. And we'll take a quick look at the About box. And there you have it. Looking good. Yeah, I like it. So now we got our About box completed, and now you know how to attach a variable to your labels out here. In this case, a version variable. And I'm just going to tweak that a little bigger. There we go, the picture. Nice. All right, and that should cover it for this tutorial. And in our next video, we're going to add a couple of navigation buttons so we can navigate forward and backwards through our string list. That'll be cool. And by the way, if you like this video, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. We'd love to have you. Thanks for watching.